All right, so we're just doing really fundamental rear mount escapes for the next couple of weeks. And so what we're looking at here is from a seated position, which is a little bit of an unnatural position, unless you're kind of starting your rolls from this position. We're gonna look at how we can force the person on the side that we want, as well as the grips that we would like to start with if we had the ability to make these grips. So right now, Trey's got a seatbelt and hooks in, and that's what we're playing from right now. And I'm gonna make a chin-up grip with one hand and a C grip thumb down with my other hand. And I'm gonna keep my elbows in nice and tight. Now again, when we're seated here, it's a little bit unnatural. I think more often than not, the rear mount happens from like a side lying position, or sometimes like from the turtle. But if you do find yourself in this scenario, you can pull one foot up and extend this other leg out to the side. And it does make it kind of hard for the person on the back to dictate which side you go to. And in this case, if we can choose, we're gonna force their head down to this weak side position, or the underhook position. It just gives us a little bit of an easier escape compared to the other side. So I've got my grips in nice and tight. I'm gonna escape my bottom hook and then get my head to the mat. So first thing I'm gonna look to do is start to extend my leg and bring my knee through that gap, assuming this person doesn't move to like a body triangle or something like that. I bring it through the gap and I'm gonna start to walk out to the side. If I need to, I can step on this person's foot just to make it harder for them to move and start to reestablish back control. So I can step on it as I walk out, switch to the other side, and get my butt down to the mat. When I get butt down to the mat, the next thing I'm gonna look to do is escape my head. So I curl my chin to my chest, and I bring my head to the mat, and I can start to force this vertical action here, which makes it really hard for this person to continue to control. I'm almost like walking out of their seatbelt. From here, I'm gonna drop my elbow in between to create a frame in between my partner and I, and then I'm just gonna turn and come up into top position. In all likelihood, this person's gonna be very active in that scenario, and they're probably gonna pull guard, they're just gonna close their guard in this position, but more often than not, they're gonna try to climb to mount. So we'll talk about that next week, what happens when a person climbs to mount. So one more time here. Person's got rear mount and we're in the seated position. So again, from seated position, I'm gonna go chin up grip here, chin up grip and then thumb in. So I have a 2-on-1 grip on the one side. I pull my one foot up and extend my other foot out to the side, which tilts us down to the side that I would like to escape from. With my elbows nice and tight to my ribs, I'm just gonna start to escape the bottom hook, bring it around and through the gap, walk my feet. Again, I can step on this person's leg in the process so that it's hard for them to recover their back position, and I get butt down to the mat. Next thing I look to do is I escape my head, so chin comes to my chest, and I get my head to the mat as I push my shoulders up, and then I drop my elbow down and in between my partner and I. This frame is gonna allow me to start to turn and come up, and hopefully get to top position here. If not, the person will try to step over to mount, in which case we can look at some other open guard scenarios rather than coming up to top close guard. So rear mount escapes for the next 3 weeks. We'll add to this next week.